So, hello everyone, and welcome to our webinar, Navigating SolidWorks Portfolio. Thanks for joining us, and today we will talk about SolidWorks Portfolio, of course, but we'll begin with our colleague Marius, who will tell you more about our company, Dassault Systems, the developer and owner of SolidWorks brand, and then CEO of our partner in Nigeria, Generative CAD, Felix, will tell you more about his company, and we'll continue with details about SolidWorks Portfolio and different solutions in SolidWorks Portfolio from Jaco, and then with a DraftSight overview from me, and we'll end by Q&A. So please, during the presentation, you can write your questions in the chat, and we will answer them at the end. So be with us, and we are waiting for your feedback and your questions. So with that, I'm giving microphone to Marius, and here we go.
Thank you, Azamat. Good afternoon, all. It's a pleasure to spend a couple of minutes with you today. My name is Marius Esterhuizen. I'm based in South Africa, and I head up the SolidWorks business for Dassault Systems in Africa, mostly focusing on the English-speaking African countries. The objective for me for today, my session, will probably be 15 to 20 minutes maximum, and then I'll introduce Felix to you. But the purpose of my portion is just to give you a high-level overview of the company, Dassault Systems, and one of the 12 brands within the Dassault Systems portfolio, which is SolidWorks, and that's the brand that I head up for English Africa. So allow me the opportunity to share my screen, and I've got a few PowerPoint slides that I'll just take you through to make sure that you've got this information at your fingertips. Just busy going into presenters mode as we speak. So Azamat or Jaco, just confirmation that you can see full screen mode?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Perfect. That's good. Excellent. So there we go. All right, everybody. So first of all, let's go back and say, in the next 15 minutes or so, I'll give you a quick highlight of who we are, what we do, and how we do it. So let's start with the who we are. Some of you may have heard of SolidWorks, but not Dassault Systems. Or some of you may have heard of Dassault Systems, but not necessarily SolidWorks. So Dassault Systems is actually the holding company, and SolidWorks is one of 12 brands under the Dassault Systems umbrella. SolidWorks contributes to roughly 25% of Dassault Systems revenue, so it's a very important part of the business for us. As you can see on the screen, the company is over 40 years old, employs over 20,000 people, and has international offices all around the world. Our head office or headquarters is in France, and we have over 26 million users of our software. SolidWorks has an indirect business model, and what this means is we sell to our end customers via authorized value-added resellers. And these value-added resellers that we authorize are local in-country SolidWorks experts who know the local markets, the challenges of those local markets, and the trends of those local markets. And Generative CAD services that we've got on the call here, of which Felix is the CEO, and I'll introduce him just after this, is one of our West African value-added resellers based in Nigeria. So on the screen, you can see that there are 12 software brands within our Dassault Systems portfolio, allowing us to serve a wide range of industries. So now that we know the who, let's focus on the how. So how do we serve these industries? And I often get asked this question, what makes your solutions different from your competitors? And it's a good question, and normally it leads to quite a detailed conversation. But the short answer to that is the fact that we draw our differentiation from the fact that we serve so many diverse industries. And all of these industries have got very specific and unique requirements, and those guide our research and development efforts in each of our portfolio products. This also ensures that our solutions need to be interoperable and that these solutions talk to one another. It allows us the ability to provide our customers with end-to-end digital manufacturing solutions that support our customers from concept phase all the way through to production. Now on the screen, you can see some of the major role players in each of these industries that I've previously mentioned that use SolidWorks in their businesses today. But I know before you say that these are all large organizations, I need to point out to you that over 90% of our SolidWorks business actually comes from the SME, the small and medium enterprise sector. That being said, the majority of our customers are actually small companies or smaller companies within the supply chain of these larger organizations that you see on the screen. So with that, the message to you is our solutions are scalable. It doesn't matter whether you are a small company with only one seat of SolidWorks or whether you are a large OEM with hundreds of seats of SolidWorks. Now let's zoom into the SolidWorks brand a little bit more. I've shown you that there are 12 different brands within the Dassault Systems portfolio. Let's focus on the SolidWorks portfolio for a bit. So again, we know who we are, we know how we do it. Now let's focus on the what. The what is our mission is with SolidWorks to enable the workforce of the future. So over 33,000 academic institutes around the world are using SolidWorks in their curriculum today. That means 10 million students are trained each year on SolidWorks. And through these efforts, our learners are making themselves more employable to over 300,000 commercial companies out there using SolidWorks. And that's a very inspiring message to those commercial companies because they are getting skilled SolidWorks resources that are entering the job market. Now, in addition to serving our commercial customers, we also realize that we have a social responsibility to encourage and empower the next generation of engineers, and by doing so, improving future employment rates. For this, we have specialized programs and offers for kids to inspire them to start thinking creatively and encourage them to pursue a career in engineering. And effectively, all they need is an internet connection. As you've seen on the previous slide, over 10 million students are trained on SolidWorks each year. So we have tailored educational offerings that provides both the software component as well as the curriculum component. And certified trained SolidWorks students make themselves much more employable after completion of their studies. If you are an entrepreneur with the endeavor to design a product, to take that product to market, and you conform to the program requirements of our startup program, we have exciting offers to help you get your product to market and build a successful business. Those of you that have been around for a while would know that SolidWorks started in 1995 with our CAD and Euro solution. But today, over 27 or 28 years later, we've got over 20 different product solutions in our SolidWorks desktop portfolio. So what does that effectively mean? That means that we can we have a complete set of product solutions in our SolidWorks portfolio that supports product development all the way from an idea or concept all the way through to manufacturing and production. So whether you work in a 2D or 3D format or both, we have you covered for your mechanical and electrical designs. As you know, any design that is done generates data, and data needs to be managed in an organized fashion and it often needs to be shared with others. And these others can be inside your organization or they can be outside your organization, but their input and approval is often required. So we have a full set of data management products within our portfolio to address your data management needs. And then increased competition in the market and the demand for greater efficiency and savings oblige us all to verify that we have optimized and validated different design options and scenarios using simulation software tools. And for that, we have a wide array of simulation software solutions to help you test and verify your design virtually before the manufacturing process commences. And then last but not least, any design that needs to be manufactured and brought to market needs to be manufactured. For that, we have a tailored range of software solutions that help you provide state-of-the-art renderings, compile assembly instructions and operating manuals, conduct quality assurance tests, and then drive your CNC machines for the actual manufacturing of those parts. And then last but not least, we give our customers different choices of how they wish to do business with us and how they wish to consume our solutions. We have two options. The one is a perpetual license, whereby a larger upfront investment is required in return for a lower annual subscription fee. And this kind of purchase is typically funded from a CapEx budget. Our second option is a term or rental license, whereby there's a lower upfront investment cost, but it does require annual upkeeping to ensure that your software remains available for use. This kind of a purchase would typically be funded from an operational expenditure or an OpEx budget. So effectively, once we've worked with your technical teams to identify the correct SolidWorks product mix for your organization, we work with your financial manager or director or CFO to determine which of these license models is the best fit for your organization. And in a nutshell, I hope I've given you a quick overview of the company, Dassault Systems, the brands within the Dassault Systems portfolio, and a little bit of a sneak peek of what we do within the SolidWorks brand today. I hope you enjoyed that. And with that, I'll be handing over to my colleague, Felix, who will take you through a couple of slides himself. And Felix is the CEO, Chief Executive Officer of our West Africa, Nigeria VAR, called CAD Generative Services. Felix, with that, over to you.
Thank you so much, Marius. Thank you for making the work very easy for me to get started. I hope you can all see my screen.
We can.
Okay, great. So thank you, everyone, and welcome. I'm Felix, CEO of Generative CAD Services, and welcome for this wonderful section we have today. Okay, so this is just a brief of me, and we really get to connect, and I'm hopeful that we'll get to connect quite, very closely on LinkedIn, the same name applicable here. So I'm really looking forward to have more conversation going forward. Okay, so more especially who are we, Generative CAD? So just like Marius mentioned, about Dassault Systems, provide software technologies to really have engineers and manufacturing companies aid. So we are work in that gap, trying to consult, and for a lot of these companies, include their product, massive product development projects and converting firms. So, and we work across quite a number of manufacturing, energy and mining, and even slightly in the construction, especially in the MEP section. So we have been in quite for a long time, and one of our is to really push further and also create a learning environment for lots of people out there, both for the employees and people who also want to enter into the organization. So, and what we do basically is to help organization turn products into reality. So we support organization, whether it's to provide software support or provide, product development expertise support or for review sections and all that. And we're really even going to the point of even training their employees or staff to the point of workflows, optimization, and investing in the industry standard practices. And quite a general summary of what we do at Generative CAD is focusing on design and manufacturing, training, especially for young people, professionals in advanced design automation, quite a lot, and also corporate employees really in the workflows and customized training for productivity level. And then we also do product consultation and only do sales and technical support, trying to get the best tools for them to really get back, to really innovate and have that freedom to get to the next level and maximize ROI. So this is more like quite a quick service of what we do in the aspect of design and manufacturing. Quick goes into product design and rapid prototyping and 3D printing, schematic designs. We support design, PCB design, piping and plant designs, and even other product development related services. So we really focus on these core areas with companies, trying to help them in these core areas, whether it's PCB electronics or enclosures, or whether it's plastic or metal, or even going to even other plastic, whether it's injection molding or 3D printing, metal like sheet metal and all that, or even laser cutting. So we go through to really work with organizations to really get best out of their tools and out of the for the best for their projects as they are working internally. But it is quite some few projects highlighted. We'll work with some of the clients and projects to really get them out, so ranging from electronics to mechanical and a full product integration. Then back to this in the aspect of support services and support services, which we all know here. So one critical aspect of what we did at tech support services is the technology solutions with our partnership with our system, particularly the SolidWorks and DraftSight. So we really focus on trying to have the best solutions into what we do regarding the company and the software solution, amazing software solution that our system offers, especially in the portfolio of SolidWorks. So it's very critical. There's so much software technology is depending on what the company does and really how to work with them, get the softwares down to them, and from discovery session to need analysis to getting and even supporting them all through the licenses, and even getting to be part of them, trying to develop the product and even training them also in most of the softwares to really get the best out of the softwares, ranging also from, whether it's also flash for 3D printers, so accessories, and even supplies of like recommendation and consulting with respect to like what type of hardware devices or that they could use to really get the best out of the work, whether it's the kind of computers they need for the car softwares or CAM or CAE, the specifications, and even the supplies, and getting them to really get the best technology for them to go forward and maximize the ROI. So, and then this is quite a short summary of our training we've had in organizations, even tertiary institutions, particularly in Nigeria, and also general trainings we have conducted, few of them here that were conducted in the past. So thank you so much, and we're willing to answer your questions, and hopefully that this quite short session has given you more like an overview of what we do, and we will look forward to really engaging with you, especially as to getting to know what we do and taking the best advantage of this awesome partnership we have with SolidWorks and getting the right tools in your hands. Thank you. Over to you, Azamat. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
If you have any questions, I'll be ready to take them. Thank you.
Thank you, Felix. And here we go. We continue with our technical expert, engineer, Jakob.
Thank you, Azamat. Thank you, guys. So again, I'm also from South Africa. I'm Marius's colleague. So I'm heading up the technical department. So all the technical activities in South Africa and the English Africa region falls under my jurisdiction. So I want to share my screen. Azamat, please confirm if you can see my screen.
Yes.
Okay, thank you very much. So as explained before, my name is Jaco, and I want to go show you guys about our technical side of the SolidWorks portfolio. So I just want to get to this. Sorry for the delay. So the SolidWorks portfolio does not just consist of CAD. And as you will see in my presentation, that similar to Felix's team, that we can address pretty much all the needs that relates to your design needs. Either if it's need to simulate something, electrical need, some renders, and I'll explain to you as we go along in our presentation. So it's a very robust product. Like Marius said, it's been around the block for almost 30 years now. It's very intuitive, easy to use, very powerful design and compute capabilities. I can develop my 2D drawings from this, which I will show you in my presentation as well. I can have communication tools to my customers, to my peers, and we can discuss our designs, we can give feedback, and I can use this for my products and brochures. But before we go too much into detail with presentation-wise, I want to show you some strength capabilities that we have within the SolidWorks portfolio. So my boss has asked me to do some design changes and modifications to my designs. So pretty much what I've done from my library side, I've just searched for the tilting head that was requested from me. And from my library, I just drag and dropped it into my design window. I've already opened it up for time purposes. But what I want to do is I want to create two simple drawings from this. And I want to show you the interactiveness if I need to change this body. So I've been tasked to reduce weight on this base plate over here. So, but before I go into this, I want to show you guys interactiveness between the software that we have. So what I want to show you is I want to make a drawing. I want to make a drawing from this part. So I'm going to select, I want to create a new drawing from this. Just select the basic template. From here, I just got to select which file I want to create a drawing from. And then I get this view. So what this view is asking me is, what is my default view going to be? So I'm just going to select the front face for now. I'm going to populate it over there. And as soon as I move my cursor to the left or to the right, it automatically projects these views for me. I can also create an isometric view on that. I can change the display of a specific view if I need to. I can do the scales. I can change the scale of a specific view, or I can do simple annotations or I can pull my design data. Pretty much everything that we have from our design side. But when I want to show you the strength of this is pretty much when I go back to my model. So I've been tasked to reduce the weight on this. So I'm just going to create random sketching without doing too much of design intent and constraints. I'm just going to create two simple circles over here. And I'm going to say, I want to cut out this material. So without selecting those sketches, my feature recognition capabilities of the tool already picked up the sketches I have drawn. I just say, define how far, what type of hole do I want. So I'm just going to say cut through all. And I'm going to accept that changes. So as you can see, I haven't hit saved or update my parts yet. So I just want to use this a bit. So if I go back to my drawing view, Let's find that. You will see that my drawing has automatically been updated. So all the changes that I'm doing on the CAD design side will populate back to what I've done in 2D. So, and as you can see as well, I can populate my templates, my drawing template, so it can accommodate all the metadata or intelligent data from my design. So I can pull the name, the part number, the lists. I can customize this drawing sheet as much as possible, so I don't have to automatically fill in all this data. I'm just not going to save that. I don't want to show you guys too much detail on showing that, but as you can see as well on my subassembly, it also already has been updated without me having to populate that. So lastly, what I want to show you from the CAD side before we go to presentation is, okay, but I have this drawing now, but I need to prep this for manufacturing. So back into my drawing view again, just going to accept that. Go into my drawing tab, just select, I'm going to select this assembly for this instance. And I want to create an asymmetric view. Again, just drag and drop. Just want to move it out a little bit, but you know what, the scale is a bit off. So let's reduce the scale a bit. And what I want to do is also color it in a bit. So what I want to do is I need to send this to my procurement team or manufacturing team. So I want to create a bill of materials. So this is my table list. So as you can see, I can have whole tables, revision tables, weld tables. So everything that is to do with manufacturing, those tables I can pull through. For now, I just want to pull a bill of material of this part. And I'm just going to accept the default settings. And as you can see, my bill of material has been populated. I don't have to pull in any spreadsheets, any Excel files, nothing. It has been populated automatically. Again, the same functionality has been populated through this default. This template, this drawing template is default by anyway. So, and then I can go further and say, I want to balloon this as well. So what it will do is actually create those balloons that will revert back to my bill of material. So with a few simple clicks, I created an assembly drawing with the bill of material. So I can send this out now to manufacturing team, to procurement, for them to make their work a bit easier. Lastly, what I want to show you guys is our toolbox functionalities, our libraries. So within SolidWorks advanced packages, there's default design libraries. So this is for design assistance. As you can see, I can choose a specific standard. I can choose what type of, do I want bolts and screws, do I want nuts, O-rings, power transmission. So there's a full list of library parts that comes on with the advanced packages. So I'm just going to select one of the default bolt installations. So what I want to do is I just want to put a hexagon bolt in those heads. So I'm just going to select the default one. As you can see, it already picked it up. And as soon as I hover over that specific goal, just want to get the right one. Just be with me. It should pick up that intelligence of that hole, and then it will populate that bolt for me. As you can see there. So what happened was it actually recognizes the thread size on my design. And now from here, I can now decide, how long do I want this bolt? What is the length? I can change the head type, the hexagon type. Should it be a washer head? And I'm just going to accept the default. So just to showing this, the simple basic functionalities of using a toolbox feature, library parts. I don't have to create bolts, nuts, washers. Everything is there. So getting back into our presentation. So let's look at our other portfolio. So as I previously explained before, As I just explained to you guys on the drawing side, we have similar intelligence tools for electrical as well. So I can do 2D electrical schematics, 3D electrical layouts. I can from there I can pull a specific wire length. I can do a wire layout, so my procurement team can buy the right length of wires that I need to. And all this SolidWorks electrical ties then closely back into our SolidWorks portfolio. For design validation, so let's say, for instance, I don't have to do physical prototyping. If I design something and I want to test its integrity or its strength, where I want to utilize this, is a specific load going to work on a specific part? I can then use SolidWorks simulation, where I can test real-life scenarios on my designs. So it ranges from structural simulation, fluid simulation, injection molding. So if I'm in the injection molding environment or plastics environment, surfacing, I can test all that as well. But let's say, for instance, I have my designs and I have my strength tests done. I need to communicate this to my engineers, to my co-workers, to my colleagues, to my clients. So we have two specific communication tools which I want to discuss with you guys. So the first of all, what we want to look at is SolidWorks Composer. So SolidWorks Composer take my 3D model, and I can then from here I can create manufacturing documentations. I can create assembly instructions. So if I have a specific product and my customer wants to buy this from me, he needs to assemble this. He needs to know how to assemble this. I would then utilize SolidWorks Composer and assist him to create that technical documentation for him. So part catalogs. If I'm in the motor industry, I can have a part catalog, and the client can see exactly what type of part or what product he wants to purchase from that. Like I said before, layouts like this, I can see where specific parts on a specific engine, assembly part catalogs. So we had one client that uses this, that in his manufacturing plant, what he does is he actually simulates, creates a video of it. So there's a video playing all the time in the workshop that it shows this is where this fitting goes in, this is where this bearing fits, so that the assemblers can see, okay, this is the wrong way, the right way around. So there's no miscommunication then between manufacturing and designs. The other tool I want to discuss with you guys is the SolidWorks Visualize. So we use this tool for renders, creating catalogs, creating brochures. So as you guys can guess by yourself, one of these parts is actually a real assembly and one would be the drawing. So just on the top of your mind, if you can think for yourself, which one will be a render. So take a second, and I will reveal to you that the one on the left was actually a render, and the one on the right was the real physical image. Another example of this blender. Again, see if you can see which one was the render and which one is the image. So what I'm trying to get at here is our renders is so close to live light. It's almost impossible to see the difference between a real life photo and a render. This time, the one on the right-hand side was our render. But then for the guys that is on the manufacturing side, on the machining side, they have a product called SolidWorks CAM, where I can take my design part or assembly back into my SolidWorks CAM interface. It's the same window as my design window. I don't have to change window interfaces. So the same guy that I've done the design can actually do the CAM programming. And it allows me to do machining, like machining centers, turning lathes. And then I can actually simulate and create those toolpaths for that. So let's see how this looks in action. So I've been instructed again to machine that base. So I'm just going to open up my SolidScan window, and I'm just going to extract the features that has been designed by the designer. And SolidWorks CAM automatically recognizes from my tool list what cycles it will use, what tools it will use, and what features it will use to machine this parts from me. So all I want to from here is just create for myself a rough model. So the raw material I'm going to buy, and just select what phases I'm going to work from. So with a few simple clicks, I can start machining. So SolidWorks CAM has automatically decided what tool it's going to use for what cycle. And also it has a capability of machine learning. So what it entails is if I'm as a user like a specific type of work cycle, I can tell them the machine, this is what I like, and it will recognizes in my future designs, in my future CAM processes, that this is my type of machining, and it will use that cycles again. Then I can populate this back to my CNC machine, and I can do my material cutting. Also, what we are focusing on a lot is data management. So we need to secure our data. It doesn't help I have all this data, but I can't do nothing with it, or my colleague can override my data, or if the power goes out or there's a fire in the building, that all my data has been lost. So we use a tool, SolidWorks PDM, that we manages our data. So it's very low requirements from the training side. As you can see on the interface, it's almost like a Windows Explorer interface, but it's actually a data management tool where I can store my data. You can customize it to all your needs. So if you have a specific workflow that, let's say, certain users is only allowed to access certain files, that can be set up as well. I can pull off my bill of materials from here. I can have a preview. So the managers have a tool that they can access and see, okay, a specific user has access last to this file, he's working on it, and nobody else can access that files. And then, as explained before, I can specific workflows. So let's say, for instance, if I have a file that has not yet been released by design, that file will not be visible to engineering or manufacturing. So only once I've set up the release of production phase, then the manufacturing team can utilize this file. This ensure security, stability, and double work. So how does the data management in the design office then will look like? So pretty much I would hit save from a design side, and it will save to it looks like a local server, local file, but in essence, I'm actually saving back to my server. But there's a lot of files, a lot of folders in the past. We always save on a local C drive or on a local server. But what happens when the files get too much? If you have a revision B, usually they would use save copy as. So the problem with this is one, you tend to risk not working on the latest version, and secondly, you're creating a lot of data very easily. With the data management product, we only save the difference. So if you have a small little line or a small circle between revision A and revision B, we call it metadata. It only saves that difference. So you don't use a lot of disk space as you would have previously done without just working on a server. Or sometimes we don't have access to specific files and folders, and we have the risk of cyber attacks. But the risk of saving offline has also its downfalls. So saving to a USB an external drive. My partner has lost it, or I've left it at home. So there's no real backup, no true backup, or sending files by email. There's no traceability that I have asked my colleague to do something or to rev a file up. So data management keep a hierarchy of a history of tasks that has been assigned as well, or requests that has been fed back to the users as well. Eliminates the use of simple tools like Dropbox and these files. So if you're saving your data on a server on a 3D Experience platform, you can then take full advantage of the cloud. So let's take a look at some of these benefits will look like. So there's my simple part. I'm just creating my design, create a drawing from it, as I showed you guys previously. And now I save it, and I can put my notes. So as you can see in this window, I'm going to save both files. I can either save a comment, and I can say unlock this file after saving. So this means is open it up to some other users as well, or I can keep it locked to myself. So I will save it. It keeps a local copy, and nobody can override my work as I'm going over it. So we can save our data back to the cloud. So like I said, if there's something happened to our local files, our local servers, my data is safely stored. And then I can log or unlock, as explained before, for concurrent teamwork. This file has been locked, and it shows me it's been locked out to me, and it shows me per file or per sub-assembly or assembly. I can choose the layout, what version or revision I'm working with currently. So I'm adding that part to my assembly, and it automatically creates those file references for me. So the sharing of the data is easier, simpler, faster. So let's say a designer needs to collaborate with the external manufacturer, another offsite office, or a remote employee. What tools do they have to do that? In the past, we used email, Google, Dropbox. But all of this is creating duplicates, creating copies. And we tend to eliminate that by using the platform, saving our files on a local platform. My clients, my partners, my colleagues can access those files from there, eliminating one, working on the wrong file version and working with duplicate files. I can also do a revision control from over here. So I can control what do I want to make a new version, new revision. I can unlock, lock, I can revise, all from one single repository. With any data management tool, is going to ask me for a revision comment. And as you can see, the changes gets applied. Excuse me. So there's the interface then of my data management. So I've worked on that file, I've saved it, I'm happy with the change. I'm just going to change the life cycle and the maturity so I can release it for manufacturing. So up until this stage, manufacturing was not able to see this file. So if I release it to manufacturing, they will get a notification. They can do the changes, put it on the CNC machine, do the machining on there. And it's quickly simple. You can see just clicking on the power tools or the hyperlinks or the power buttons, as we call it, and it gets updated for manufacturing. So as the company grows, 3D Experience SolidWorks open up the doors for scalable and innovative tools. So we have a lot of tools that can assist your needs: multi-axis CAM, CNC machines, factory automation, 3D scanning, CAD data optimization, robotic programming. The 3D Experience SolidWorks lays the foundation for you to be successful now and provides access to next generation tools that will help you innovate and stay ahead of your competition. Thank you, guys. That's all from my side. Back to you, Azamat.
Yeah, thank you, Jaco. Thanks for your presentation. So here we go. We continue with DraftSight presentation. And I'm reminding you that you can write your questions in the chat. I see that some of you receive already answers on that, but we'll go on with all questions after my presentation when we'll go on with Q&A. So DraftSight is our 2D CAD solution, and many of you knows, of course, about SolidWorks as our most popular product in portfolio, and but not many of you knows that DraftSight is a very popular product, and actually it's not a new one. It exists since 2010, so we are over 13 years with it and developing it. There are several millions of users worldwide, over 200,000 corporate customers. And comparing to competitors of DraftSight, there are choice in versions. You can choose standalone version, network version, with 3D Experience platform as collaboration tool. So and also there are perpetual or term license, so there are still options. And before we go on, I want to share with you one video to give you more details about this solution.
DraftSight 2023 is a professional feature-rich DWG design and drafting solution. Let's take a look at some of the great features being introduced in the new release, including Annotation Monitor, Data Extraction Wizard, Cycling Selection Tool, Contextual Ribbon Tab, Page Layout Manager, and Home by Me improvements. Our new Annotation Monitor helps you quickly identify annotations that have no associativity or have been disassociated. Easily reassociate annotations to objects or entities to complete and manage drawing annotation. With the new Data Extract tool, we can provide design flexibility by combining drawing data with external data into a single source, while reducing errors and fostering collaboration within the organization. It allows us to streamline the design process by reducing the manual counting and entering of table data through the extraction of selected entities and blocks within the drawing. The new Cycling Selection tool helps declutter overlapping entities and streamline design workflow. Display the cycling selection dialog box where you click and easily select the highlighted object among the overlapping entities. New and future contextual ribbon tabs optimize design workflow with a maximized viewing and working area. Design faster with a view of only relevant options and related commands for entity creation and modifications grouped in one convenient tab. Save time adjusting print settings by reusing custom print configurations saved entirely within the drawing or drawing templates in the improved Page Layout Manager. Improved usability of floor plan design with support for quick preview and direct floor edits through the improved Home by Me add-in integration. Learn more about DraftSight 2023, these new features, and the DraftSight portfolio at DraftSight.com.
Yeah, so that's about a short overview of DraftSight. And of course, when we look at DraftSight, we and our customers are mostly comparing it with AutoCAD LT or AutoCAD itself. First, when we look at offers, what you can buy, you see that choice of licensing is much bigger when you choose DraftSight. So you can buy perpetual license, network license, and you have a collaborative platform. So when you go to the features itself, there are several versions of DraftSight and there are several versions of AutoCAD. But you see that based on your needs and based on needs of our other users, we see that it's very easy for them to switch from AutoCAD LT to DraftSight. Even when we go to some more difficult tasks and features linked to API plugins or opening old files, there too you will easily open your old AutoCAD files, DWG, with DraftSight solutions. And if you have more mechanical design tasks, then since last year we have a special version, DraftSight Mechanical, which was created in collaboration with one of our largest users of DraftSight, and it's specially designed for mechanical engineers, and you can choose this version based on your needs. So there are several versions, as I said, DraftSight Enterprise, Enterprise Plus, or 3D Experience DraftSight. You already saw in presentation of Jaco how collaboration in 3D Experience works. And if you need such a collaboration tool, it's better for you to choose 3D Experience DraftSight. If you need just a replacement for your AutoCAD LT solution, then you always can choose DraftSight Enterprise or Enterprise Plus. So at the same time, we're improving our functionality of DraftSight every year. Every year there are a new version, and always you can benefit from new features. So migration itself is very easy if you know how to use AutoCAD, and probably you know. Then you don't need a lot of training, because even most of hotkeys and control buttons, they are the same. It's very easy to reuse your old files because yeah, it's DWG, the same. And there are almost no changes in your workflows because it's very similar tool. Also, when you will acquire, when you will buy DraftSight instead of your current 2D solution, you'll have great economy, because your savings will be great, because DraftSight is much cheaper than what you use now, and you will get additional functionality and additional collaboration with SolidWorks. So you saw already the video with overview of DraftSight, but if you want to know more and if you want to see more details, you can always visit our YouTube channel, DraftSight. It's called DraftSight, and there are a webinar from Lynn Allen, AutoCAD evangelist for 25 years. She was making tips and tricks for AutoCAD for many years, but since 3 or 4 years, she joined Dassault Systèmes, and at this webinar, she will tell you more details on how easy it is to switch from AutoCAD to DraftSight. And she is the best person to tell you that, because she switched herself. I will write this link also in chat, but you can pretty easily find it on YouTube just by searching for Lynn Allen DraftSight. We see that customers from many industries are using DraftSight, mostly instead of AutoCAD, and you see here some examples. And what they say as a key benefits is that it's familiar interface, and mostly they're engineers, they don't even see the difference, and that's why such switch was so smooth. And of course, it's very cost effective, and you will have a lot of savings because of that. So all you need is to discuss with our partner about the version you need. There are several versions of DraftSight, and with support of Felix and Generative CAD, it will be pretty easy for you to find the best solution which will fulfill your needs. So as a summary, DraftSight has very good acceptance among 200,000 corporate customers worldwide. DraftSight Portfolio is also wide and works with many industries. We have customers in many industries, and whenever you need 2D CAD, DraftSight can help you. DraftSight is continuing its development, and every year there are new versions with new features, and soon we will have new version, same as with SolidWorks. DraftSight drawings are current and future roles in 3D experience. Ecosystem is very important for us, because we know the value and the importance of drawings of 2D. So we are not focusing just on 3D or just on 3D experience. We have a big development part on 2D, and DraftSight is growing because of that. So, and your savings from DraftSight, from switching to DraftSight, will help you to increase your budget and spend it on value, on some other solutions which will give you more value. Maybe it will be SolidWorks, maybe it will be simulation tools, maybe it will be collaboration tools, but for sure you will spend it on value which will give benefits to your company. So that's it from my side about DraftSight. And here we go, we continue with questions. And because we have a lot of people in who will watch it in record, I would like to read the questions which was answered already. So there are some questions which was not understood, so please give more details if you see that there was some answer. So question number one from Nicholas: how do I get software since I'm fresher of AutoCAD? Myself and Marius, I think, didn't understand what the meaning of fresher of AutoCAD, but whatever. Just to get a license in case of Nigeria, and if you are not in Nigeria, please specify it. Nicholas, wherever you are, you just need to go to our partner in country, and they will provide you with all information, whatever type of license it will be. It can be education license, it can be a research license, it can be commercial license. So just ask our partner. So I'm from question from Marilyn. I'm from Ghana and I have no background in CAD development, but I'm very interested and I want to learn more. My CEO shared the registration form, and I'm still waiting for any assistance I will get from them for the payment. Please, I want to know if the online training will really help me. Yes, so there are online trainings. And again, the best option is to visit our partner, and they will help you with all the questions. So Kudos to the host of this webinar. Also, big thanks to Engineer Felix for a wonderful presentation. My question is, how can student license to SolidWorks be accessed in Africa in order to fully explore the features of the software and other DSO programs? I'm from Nigeria, and most students are not able to get access due to the yearly fee. Yeah, so again, it's very easy solution. So your university need to contact our partner and know how to fix it, because our education licenses are for universities, and also there are student version, yeah, for student itself, and it costs really very low price. I'm a university student from Nigeria, and I'm an active user of Autodesk Inventor and Fusion. I'm looking to explore the use of SolidWorks, but I'm unable to get education access. Yeah, it's the same question, the same answer. So first of all, yeah, you can, as Mario said, you can try trial version at mysolidworks.com. It's on browser, and it will be really easy for you. Yeah, then your university need to contact our partner to get the licenses. Hi, my name is Akichukwu Victor, SolidWorks group leader from Nigeria. I want to ask what solutions SolidWorks has for startups doing product development, especially in the software category. Are there discounts or any? Yeah, about our startup program. Yes, we have a startup program, and it gives free license for first free licenses for first year. Then it will be discount of 70%, then discount of 50%. And of course, we will help startup itself by assistant in marketing and other tools. So you can easily also contact our partner. And at the same time, you can just Google SolidWorks startups, and you will find the form for to apply for our licenses for startups. So next question is, how do I get access to software to start my tutorials? Yeah, if we talk about tutorials and trials, it's all available on mysolidworks.com. So yeah, it's a site especially for that, and you can easily find it there. So also there are questions from Derek. How far statistically with 3D experience rollout in Africa? It's hard question because I'm not sure that I'm answering it right. But if it's like if it's rollout in Africa, yes, it's available in Africa, and as you see, it depends on quality of internet and availability of electricity in your place. But yeah, in general, we can say that it's fully available. And as a solution, it's very interesting for many of our customers. Yeah, last week I saw many of our customers in Kenya, for example, who was very interested in using 3D experience. So I read all the questions which we have now, and thanks for Marius for answering them. But I just read them to leave it in our record. All of you will receive the record itself. If you are registered to this webinar, you will see it too. So very soon you will get the video record with all useful links from today's presentation on your email with which you registered. So if there are any other questions, we can answer them. If not, then we can finish it. yeah, so I want to thank you one more time. Thanks for our speakers, to Marius, Jaco, Felix, and yeah, see you on our next webinars, and please contact Felix for all your questions.
Thank you, Asamat. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, guys. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.